Welcome to Spin Sessions, the platform to have an open conversation, not just with the spinners, the superstars that they are, but as well as the spectators, the promoters, and the guys changing tires in the back, working hard in the sun. This is a conversation between us as a whole community, the landscape of this spinning movement, this culture that is not only exploded on the South African scene, but now is officially on the international scene. We got spinners traveling not just locally, but internationally, showcasing South African talented individuals at their best. This is Spin Sessions. Welcome to Spin Sessions, and this week we got an OG on the couch, baby. Legendary status, master of the craft, and the superstar spinner that's been prominent on thousands of spin posters in and around this African continent. This week we have Sunesh, aka Sushi. Welcome to Spin Sessions. Glad to have you on the couch.
I'm happy to be on the couch.
Sunesh, I know you started spinning way back, around about the year of 2024, something around that
actually,
line.
2007. 2007.
224, that's the issue. You know it's cold out here.
No, it's okay.
2004, 2006. I remember your first event was at the original business that you had at the testing station.
The testing station, yeah.
2006.
Spin City Benoni, that's what we called it.
Yeah. we're taking it to the beginning of this chapter.
Damn, that's a long time ago, but yeah.
Hey, bro, you know, that's one thing, like, you got to give props and credit where credit is due. Sunesh, you've been doing it for a couple, right?
Yeah.
2 decades of experience, still relevant, still being booked, still a poster boy, still respected as a top 10 spinner. You're still here.
Trying to keep it there.
Amen. So what first attracted you to, you know, this crazy sport we call spinning?
So like 2006. Yeah, 2006-ish. That's around there.
I remember those years.
I was actually into stunts. So I was the show and shine guy. I was, nice car, nice rims, nice paint job, all of that.
4-pup E46 M3, ne?
Listen, now you fast forward.
I'm remembering these days. I'm remembering the 20s. I remember the store.
Okay, we'll get to that part just now.
I told you, there's many colorful chapters in Sunesh's book of life.
Funny enough, the person that made me want to do spinning was it Most Wanted from Kimberley?
Matthew.
Matthew, yes.
Matthew, my boy Matthew. Matthew,
yes.
Yeah.
I saw Matthew spin for the first time and I was like, what the hell is going on here? And then it was in Clarksdorp actually. And I was like, it was a show and shine there and there. And then I saw the spinning on the back, and it was a back section there. And I was like, I got an IS. I want to try this. So I've always loved the 325 IS, obviously. I mean, that was my car since when I finished school. I was like, I want this car. And I told my dad, I was like, I don't want a car for my 21st. I don't want nothing. I want a 325 IS.
Wow.
He said, pass your matric, get good marks, you'll get your IS. I did it. Got my IS. So then yeah, then obviously that was my prized possession. Still is my prized
Yeah, I was
possession.
just about to say, I know you still got that plus a collection, but we'll get into it.
Yeah. But yeah, so then I said, no, I'm gonna try this with the IS. And then I started trying it with the IS, and I was like, listen, I even went to West Bank. I think it was on the closing of West Bank.
Tell
My
us about West Bank.
my shame, I won't even lie to you, that's my walk of shame.
It's not a walk of shame,
No,
hey, bro. We all
freaking
start
hell.
from somewhere, eh? Nobody becomes superstars
I
like
legit
that.
got booed off with the white IS, and everyone was booing me. I couldn't spin for check. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this get me down. I want to do this. Learned. I mean, I had no one to teach me. At that
Sure.
point in time, there was no one to teach you how to spin. I mean, the time I was your Mageshes, Chef,
Marlon.
Marlon, Eric Maswaya was still
Yeah,
that time
Maswaya.
also. Madala squad was still that time there.
Yeah, I remember. Older 5 series.
Yes. I mean, I was like, I need to do this. And like, how the hell are these guys doing this? I'm like, I need to do this. Anyway, time went on. I said, no, I'm messing up my eyes. Let me buy a photo.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to the point where you realize this is I'm missing my IS. Because let's say an IS back then was worth like, I don't know, we're talking, okay, let's say 2005, 2006. I reckon they were selling about the 120, 140
about
grand
120,
mark,
140,
right?
yeah.
Which still was a lot of money back then.
Of course it was, yeah.
But has since appreciated greatly in value.
Yeah, in tenfold possibly.
Yeah, I'm glad Sunesh parked the IS back in the garage.
So bought the photo, looked for motor. I was like, where am I going to get a motor? Went to a scrapyard, found a 325, shoved the 325 in. Obviously, at that point in time, it was still airflow meter. We did not know about dictator at that point in time. So airflow meter, we did know about power pipes, however. Power pipes was there.
Yeah.
So we had power pipes, airflow meter, and slip diff. We didn't even know what a lock diff at that point in time.
No F-Rocks then, no F-Rocks.
No F-Rocks. So eventually learned on the slip diff, got the hang of it, and then evolved into a lock diff. Hence becoming friends with people in the spinning industry now, because now we're rubbing shoulders with people now.
Sure.
I was rubbing shoulders at that point in time in Recha Park, actually. That's where I started going out.
Oh man, I remember that guy. I used to call him the Pitbull. He was a big, dominating gentleman with like piercing green eyes. I forgot his name.
Guni.
Yes, my man.
Guni.
Yeah,
Guni, at that time, Guni was the best of the best.
Yo, and he demanded respect in the
for
Recha
sure,
Park,
for sure,
bro.
most
Like,
definitely.
yeah,
I know Guni.
big man.
So so I learned in the streets of Recha Park, actually. That's when I started getting involved in spinning. And then
It used to be a Sunday afternoon session,
Sunday
right?
afternoons,
Yeah.
at the lake.
Yeah.
At the lake. And then used to go from the lake. Sometimes when the police used to come, then we go to Golden Center. So yeah, Golden Center in Popcorn Valley side, that side there. But nevertheless, learned how to spin there, taught myself, and then started going with them. That time it was Parkside crew. Obviously, I didn't have a crew or anything at that point in time. Just an individual, trying to have fun, enjoying something that I saw that was fun. The adrenaline was amazing at that point in time. I mean, it was just something else.
Adrenaline.
Learned and went to events, followed Parkside crew, wherever they had events, whatever the case might be. Eventually broke away from Parkside crew and then started my own thing. So I then started Team Exclusive at that point in time.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm happy you're taking us down memory lane because there's a lot of young up-and-coming spinners that are talented or hungry but don't know the whole full story that someone like you who is a superstar, respected amongst the very, very best in the game, also had a journey of learning.
Listen, we had to earn our stripes. Like, I'll be honest with you, the guys nowadays, the young guys, you young guys out there, like, you're getting it easy. Like, you just want a paycheck. It doesn't work like that. It didn't work like that.
Let the people know how many events and how many years or months you put into it until you finally started getting any paycheck.
I was spending for about 3 years before I got a paycheck. And I had to make myself recognized.
Sure.
That's how tight spinning was.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point in time, I was competing with Jeff James, Magesh.
Yeah.
You know, the names that we just mentioned now. Those were the big boys. Feroz himself as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he was already a big boy at that point in time. I mean, I was just starting. I mean, like, I didn't know anyone. And I was like, no, I want to be there. I want to get there. And I pushed. I asked stupid questions, which I still do till today. I ask stupid questions. And it built up the levels. And in 3 years, I got invited to Botswana. It was actually Pule from Force Lotus that invited me to Botswana.
Nice.
He's like, do you want to come out to Botswana? I was like, Botswana? I'm like, okay. I didn't even have a passport.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, did you have a passport ready?
I didn't even have a passport at that point in time. I was like, okay, let me get this passport. And then I was like, okay, enough time, got the passport. And then we're like, okay, we're doing this. We went to Botswana. Listen, every single, like legit, every single spin show we went on our own expense.
I've got to add something onto that. So we're talking a good 10 years plus ago, more like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Sunesh and so many spinners that started in that era did not have trailers back then, didn't even have double cabs back then.
Yeah.
They would drive their spin car 400, 600, 700 Ks across borders
You can
to a
say
spin
1,000. You
show.
can even say 1,300, 1,400 because we used to drive to Zimbabwe. We used to drive to Namibia.
You know, if you think about that now, if you look back in there, you realize how crazy that was.
But I promise you, it was the most fun thing ever. I
Sure.
promise you. That, honestly speaking, that was spinning.
Yeah, it's the birthplace. It's where it all began.
But that's where we fell in love with spinning. We met
Sure.
people, we made relationships. I mean, who would have thought I would have had friends in Zimbabwe today? Who would have thought I had friends in Namibia today? Swaziland, Botswana, wherever we go. I mean, I promise you, like with spinning, driving our cars there, getting there. We met people in different towns because of spinning. And no matter what, you can say spinning is a family. It is, like,
Yeah.
honestly speaking, it's a family.
No, I agree with you 100%. And sometimes the journey was even more fun than the actual destination.
No, listen, the getting stuck, the laughing at each other because your car you broke something stupid on your car. You know, it was all that. I mean, listen, I remember I still broke in Zimbabwe, and me and Eric went together. We legit towed from Zimbabwe to Polokwane and then rested. And then the next morning, towed from Polokwane back to Benoni. That's how bad it was.
I've got to share a really crazy towing story with you because you brought that up. So we went to an event, can't remember, and cut a long story short, bad company was still towing with like van. I think it was one of those imported vans. Anyway, so cut a long story short.
I think it was Kwandabele Spinfest.
Kwandabele, that was it. And the van broke down. And usually when you're towing, the car that's broken is at the back of the car.
Yeah.
And, you tow with the car in front. Scorpus and his crew pushed the van with the spin car. How far is that? It's like 400 Ks?
Yeah, but 400 Ks.
400 Ks from Kwandabele all the way back to the East Rand
we were still
Joburg.
driving. We were still towing with our car at that point in time, A-framing that time. And we were like, why does Scopas' van sound like a V8? I'm like, did you put a V8 in it?
That's what I'm saying.
We see this van, we see the spin car pushing the van. And we're like...
And he literally all the way down to the
Yes.
East Rand. I remember following him. We broke apart there roundabout at Jet Park. And I was like, there is so much awesome...
Memories.
rich stories
No, for sure.
behind the pitch before you even get to an event, after an event that people don't realize
No, for sure.
how much effort someone like yourself as a diehard spinner puts into their career, puts into traveling and entertaining and not disappointing their fans.
No,
Like
for sure.
these guys go through a lot
No, we do.
to get to some of these venues.
No, for sure.
And I'm sure you can recall at least once or twice, like you were just mentioning in Zimbabwe, and back then, you still used to drive these cars. I remember the toolboxes, your car specifically, that big like Swazi style
Yes.
hat, toolboxes, drive to an event, brake side shafts. Now it's after the event, it's like 11:30, it's cold, it's uncomfortable. And now you got to repair the side shaft because you still need to travel 400 Ks back home.
Listen, Vic, you talk about side shafts. We took heads off at events. I remember myself and Eric. Me and Eric used to go a long way together. I mean, back in the day. Yeah, every event. At that point in time, I think we were called Eastern Showstoppers. I think it was myself, Eric, Turbo,
Ooh,
and
yeah,
the late
man.
Terminator. The
Yeah.
four of us, we used to travel
Rest in
every.
power.
That was like the power team from the Eastern, and we were booked every weekend almost. It was hectic at that time, and legit, we went to Swaziland. I broke a rocker.
Eesh.
Now I broke number 2, so I can't take the shaft out the front and change at the back, obviously, because the number 2 broke.
Got to take the head off.
Look at Eric's looking at me, I look at Eric, I'm like, hey, all right, let's take the head off. And it's raining.
Eesh.
We take the head off. Knock it out, put a new rocker in. No torque wrench, nothing. We have to just make a plane. It's like power, but I'm like
Like
Eric,
us. Click. Yeah, no, it's
So,
sharp.
I was like, Eric, I'm not gonna torque this head. You're gonna torque this head. I'm like, shit, not going to. It's like, okay, come. Put the head back on everything. He torques the head up with the power bar. Start the car. Rev. That'll be okay. Back in, spin.
Oh, wow, you still went for another round.
We still went for another round. Listen, we went for like another 2 or 3 rounds after that even. Went home. I promise you, I didn't even touch the engine. I never retorqued the head, nothing. I carried on going to shows like that.
Yeah, those are the good stories.
No, but listen, I won't lie to you. Spinning back then was on a different level. Driving your car was something else.
Tell me how has the face of spinning changed in the last 20 years? You know, you remember the baby shows when, you know, let's say like 1,000, 2,000 people rocked up. It was a big event, you know?
No, for sure.
Now you got shows between you and Sapong, you know, you guys are hosting like 20,000, 18,000 people, eyes closed. How's the face for you personally? Because you've been such an active member and a multiple facet member, because you're a spinner as well as an entertainer, you're a promoter, you're running an oval track facility. Yeah. How has the face of spinning changed in 20 years?
Look, Vic, I mean, from 2007, 2008, where we were spinning in first gear. Listen to this. We were spinning in first gear. I don't even think a new spinner understands this. We're spinning in first gear, changing one wheel at a time. So, like legit, we'd spin, one tire would burst.
Yeah.
We'd take the tire off that burst, put a new tire, well, a second-hand tire, obviously, the point in time on that side, go back in and spin again. Not changing the other side because the other tire was perfectly fine. Man. I mean, I promise you, like when I was hosting a Spin City Benoni, for my events, if I used 60 tires.
For the whole event?
For the whole event. That was a lot.
Yeah, no, things has thus changed.
Today, where we host now, we're using nothing less than 400 tires an event.
Wow.
That's how crazy it is. So, once again, Spin City Benoni, we bring back again to that section. We hosted about, listen, I legit thought I was going to host an event that I had about maybe 300 people, I thought. I promise you, we were like over 1,200 people that time. And I was like, what the hell? And then from there, small arenas, like legit small 4-corner. We only knew 4 corners at a point in time. First case spinning 4 corners. Stunts was a big thing that time. It was the only thing that had much entertainment, let's put it to that way, because our driving skills were not as on point as we are right now.
Yeah.
Let's put it to that way. So stunts was the main thing at that point in time.
I think Joburg, that was a big differentiation between Joburg and Kapstad. And that's why Kimberley, Monster Mob, those Easter weekends were so vital, because it would bring them together.
Yes, it was the meeting point.
And you would learn from each other.
Of course, most definitely. I mean, when we brought Cape Town to our place, that's the first time I saw a crazy flip. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? I'm like, okay, I need to try this.
A crazy flip at speed, you know. I'm going to mention those names. I've mentioned it many times, but yeah. Shane Green, Sean February, those two oaks would bring so much speed in such a tight space.
Agreed.
And still manage to throw a 720 crazy flip without hitting anything and just carry on, bro.
And with ease.
No, yeah. Now, I'll always get credit, bro. The crazy flip comes from Cape Town. Cape Town, claim that, Sherbert, because you're aggressive driving that crazy flip comes from Kapstad.
Yeah,
but I agree that the stunts from spinning catapulted spinning into this massive, now officially international like sport following culture, because of the danger, the wow factor, the spectacular, like, yo, I can't believe you just did that, right?
Of course. With no helmets, no safety equipment, nothing.
Still something that Europe, especially Europe, but everywhere else in the world, when we speak about spinning, people are like, how are you getting away with it?
Yes.
How can you do that without a helmet and like a seatbelt? And I'm like, well, you need to come to travel to Africa, because Africa is a special place. We got mad talented people, and we get away with mad talented things. But for people watching, like in Europe and especially in the States, for like how do your authorities, or how do you get away with like not wearing a helmet? And you try and explain to them, like, there's certain things you can't wear a helmet. If you had to wear maybe like a really small, like, I don't know, like a bicycle helmet that's molded around your head, you
Still
could
not-
maybe get
it's
away
not
with
gonna
it.
work still. I mean, like imagine jumping out of the car with a helmet. You
You
can't.
just, like, it's going to obstruct. And that's
course.
how I try and explain to people when they ask me the safety element of spinning. It's like, there's certain things that restrict your flow.
For sure.
And that in itself will become a danger
It's
and
your
cause
flow
you
and your
to like,
speed because I mean we need to be fast.
yeah, in and
That's the
out,
thing.
right? Yeah, no, spinning is definitely 100% proudly South African. I claim it. When we travel overseas, I'm always like, yo, we didn't adopt this from anywhere else. The States has gotten a lot of momentum. They're
Yes.
doing a lot of burnout sideshows and stuff, but
It's not on the same level.
it's not ours,
Nah,
bro.
no, it's not
They
on the
don't
same
even come close. With respect for Levi, I might have like bigger horsepower cars because
sure.
it's a V8 thing there. But I follow and I'm like, you ain't anywhere near, bro. I know you're trying. I give you like applause. You also started from somewhere, but nah, no damn doubt. So, let me move over from a spinner to a promoter point of view.
Yeah.
You run a company called Suntech Events.
Yeah.
You've been running successful shows. It's fair to say between you and Sapang currently are running the biggest shows in attendance numbers on oval tracks. What are some of your, I don't want to say hardships, but what are some of your challenges in running events?
Yeah, Vic, it's a lot actually because if you have to think about it, number one, we have to deal with spinners.
Explore that a little bit more. Because people need to understand, if you don't educate,
I'm gonna be standing on toes now.
Don't mention names, but just say like, hey, spinners,
Okay.
catch a wake up. What's
No, but
happening?
like on a serious note, like the spinners out there, I mean, don't commit to a show if you're not gonna come. The problem is the backlash that we get from fans, supporters. I mean, kids.
Most importantly,
You're doing it for the kids. I won't even lie to you. Do you know the happiness that spinning brings to kids?
yeah,
You can't understand.
I get to see those faces.
Exactly. And the thing is, that happiness makes me want to host events. It makes me want to do the events because we're doing it for the younger generation. We're trying to take the kids off the streets of drugs, alcohol abuse, all those things. I mean, get them involved in something that's going to grow them, something that's going to make them see life in a different way.
Absolutely.
And that's the bottom line and the point of it. By getting back to the point of the hardships of actually hosting an event, spinners saying that we're going to come and they don't rock up.
At all.
And we're talking headliners.
Do they at least give you a call and say, listen, sir,
Listen, you can call them. Are you coming? I'm on my way. I'm going to be there. Joop, on the day of the event, nothing.
You see now, Sunesh, you and I both know each other from a friendly point of view as well as a professional, booking point of view. My thing is this. If you're aiming to be a professional athlete, whether it be drifter, rally car driver, spinner, you need to be professional in all your ways.
Most definitely.
Because what people don't understand is spinning has comfortably and quickly, in a small amount of years, moved into a space where it can be considered a professional career because spinners are being paid to perform. So you're earning a living. It's being a career, right?
True.
And as if you want to be a good lawyer, good welder, good pipe fitter, you got to live up to being at the event or at work on time. If you're not going to work, sir, I'm sick or I had like my car blow up or whatever.
Exactly.
You need spinners and people in general in South Africa need to carry themselves to the best
That's why
possible.
school is important. School is important.
Education, no, without a doubt, is important.
School teaches you all the disciplines. I mean, think about it. If you're late for school, you need to report and say why. Same in the big world, in this reality, in this world that's out there, you need to do the same thing. In your career, you need to do the same thing.
Just like, hey, I can't make it. I didn't get the diff repaired in time. The trailer broke, whatever.
Even lie to me about something. Just tell me I'm not coming. You know what I'm saying? Just, if you don't care what your lie is, just say I'm not coming.
Be professional, man.
For sure. So, yeah, so it's our spinners, first of all, that don't honor their promises to us. Second is you need to know that when you host these events, there's no sponsorships that are on the table. It's very, very difficult to get a sponsorship on the table. So you're depending solely on your own pocket to promote that event, get that event up and running. Pay your spinners, pay the accommodation, pay the venue, pay the staff, pay the tire exchanges, pay for the tires.
Yeah, because those aren't free no more.
It's not for free. And the other thing is also the people out there think, oh, listen, this guy had 20,000 people or 10,000 people at his event. He made a killing.
First thing anybody
please.
does at an event, they're like, 10,000, 2,000, 4,000, 18,000 times 250. Boy,
It's
this boy's
not-
making bank.
It's not even the expenses behind the scenes. You guys don't even understand. I promise you, at my events, before I open my gate, I'm in at 250.
Easy. I was closed.
I'm in at 250.
People don't understand that. They don't see that because they don't understand the business and the backside to the
Exactly.
stage.
Of course. And you know what? Nobody sees what we pay the spinners as well. So that's the other thing.
I also want you to mention promoters don't always make money.
No, hell no.
I'm sure you've had a few events where you had to pay in and there was a loss.
Yes, you have to put in from your own pocket. I mean, and you can't tell the spinner, Ish, you know, hey, listen, we've been
Hey,
to...
yo, I was
No, no,
there.
no,
Hey,
no,
there's
no,
lots
no,
of promoters.
We've
They're
been
like,
to...
we only had 1,000. We were expecting 5,000.
No,
yeah.
we've been to those events. I mean, listen, we've even been to events. There was one event in Kuruman where we had to pay ourselves.
Hey, listen, my man. I went all the way to now. It only happened once. I physically brazed it in the back of my memory. That will never happen in my life, career, stroke, ever again.
Sure.
I traveled all the way to Nelspruit to a certain promoter's
Yes.
past. My man, yeah. No. Yeah, we learned those lessons. You
No, for sure.
paid for those lessons. You paid in petrol, accommodation. You paid in energy and time.
I know, of course. And at the end of the day, I mean, like, nobody sees the costings. And listen, guys, it's not... We're not... Once again, I get back on the point of I'm not doing events for the money.
Sure.
Yes, it is there. Yes, if there's money that's there, it's there. But that's the byproduct of the reason of what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for the community. I'm doing it for the fans. I'm doing it for the supporters. My fans as well. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about giving back. Yes, sometimes the guys complain. Listen, I mean, guys can pay $500, $600 for an artist.
Yeah.
You guys are trying to pay $150 for a spin event with all this mega expenses that we have. So, look, we make sometimes, yes. We lose sometimes, hell yes.
And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with making an honest profit
No, for
from
sure.
hard work.
No, of course.
You know, it's almost sometimes people like look down on promoters when they start becoming successful. You know, I've said this so many times. I've shared this with my best friend Dad so many times.
Yeah.
It's like when people are in the struggle together, everybody's sharp.
Yeah, for sure.
But as soon as someone starts elevating themselves, their careers, their business,
No,
then
for
it's
sure.
almost like the people want to drag them back
No,
down to the
100%.
struggle instead of like, yo, let us
We're not gonna
uplift you. You're
support
doing
you,
a
no.
good thing, you know?
No, 100%. There's no support from your friends and family, the ones that were closest to you at that point in time. Now they're not there anymore.
Now, amongst anybody who's in business in the events industry will always say, your friends are the first ones to ask you for free tickets.
Most
And
definitely.
they should be the last ones because they should be saying, you know what, let me help you be a prophet.
Listen, I got a new line for all my guys that do that to me. Hey, no comps, no nothing for us. I'm like, guys, are you supporting me or what are you doing? As simple as that.
But it's true, right?
Support me. If you really care about me, support me.
You want to see me succeed.
I mean, I'm gonna support you in what you do. Come on, support me. I mean, you're a doctor. I'm not gonna go in there and say I want a free consult. No, I'm gonna pay for the consult. I have to pay for there was cost. It was your time. I have to pay for your time.
Sure.
I mean, you went to study for that. I mean, like, I use the knowledge. Pay for it.
Sunesh, there's no way I can have you on the couch and not discuss your expertise in 2.9 M20s. Why an M20? Why are you still holding on to that M20 diehard legendary engine?
Vic, any spinner, any real spinner, no matter who you are,
Yeah, we're going to have that on replay in about 5 seconds. Any real spinner, yeah.
any spinner, any real spinner will tell you that there's no other engine that gives you the response, the feeling, and the excitement of an M20.
Let's be a little bit more specific here because an M20 325
No, okay, look, okay, we're gonna go.
in stock form is kind of pop for spinning, and I'm just putting it
But we
out there,
started
right?
there. We started there.
When
The
you
tone.
say those things, you're specifically talking about your 2.9 ethanol drinking, fire breathing monster that makes 172 kilowatts on the wheels, something around there.
Somewhere around there.
172 kilowatts, which is over 200 horsepower. It's 210, something like that.
220 somewhat. 220.
Yeah, that
Five-ish, six-ish.
yeah. No, your car responds very well. Your car is reg.
Okay, but any real spinner will tell you there's nothing for M20. Anybody, listen, whether it was standard M20 at that time or now.
Yeah, in first gear, yeah.
In first gear.
Backward,
In first gear. But no matter what, we all start on M20.
Sure.
No matter what you can say, we all start on M20. Any real spinner. Mark my words, any real spinner. And at the end of the day, we all started on the M20, but the thrill the M20 gives you, the sound the M20 gives you, the way the car responds, that the crowd responds back to you because of the car, that's something else on its own. There's nothing crisper than the M20.
Your car specifically has a very unique sound.
No, for
You can hear, like if someone's away from the pitch in the toilet or arriving at a venue or going away from a venue, your car has a very, very specific, unique sound. I'm not going to ask you your trade secrets how to make that power. I do believe your compression's high because you can almost hear it. Your car is unique in many,
Can I be
many
honest
ways.
with you? There's no secret to my car, and everybody keeps on thinking I got a 3-liter crank. I've got, I'm running import pistols, guys. Go to my page. I posted pictures of it. I ran the motor for 11 months straight. No changing of bearings, nothing. Stock 328 crank. Not even knife edged, nothing. 328 rods, super boss piston.
86
86
more.
more.
Yeah.
There's nothing. That's all I've done. I haven't done anything more. So
You also know how to drive the sherbet out of it. So
that too, yeah.
it makes it successful.
No, but it comes with years of experience. I won't lie to you, and it also comes with asking stupid questions. I won't lie to you. I've asked drifters. Obviously I'm at the check, so I see the drifters there, and I ask them how do they do certain things. And to be quite honest with you, my spin car is actually based on a drift car. To be quite honest with you, and I think that's also something that we as spinners need to realize, that we're upping our game, we're upping our horsepowers, we're doing all of that, but you need to up your car as well.
Yeah, most
Suspension, roll cages. I do all of that because I've seen what the drifters are doing, and it's working. It's working.
Let's highlight a little bit about the clean spin car culture, because I believe that something like that should be focused on. My dealings with corporates, I've always told them, don't ever round off the edges of spinning.
Yeah.
Don't do that to us, because spinning is raw, rough, and raucous.
Sure.
It's edgy. You can't round it because that's what it makes it special. However, presentation for me is really, really important, not just in a personal person as in a spinner or an athlete or a brand, but just in general presentation.
No, for sure.
I do feel money is always a thing. Spin cars cost money,
Yeah, no, for
maintenance,
sure.
engines, wherever, but you also got to put some effort and budget into making the car look real good.
But Vic, that's where we have the difficulties of getting sponsorships.
Sure.
And that's why people in corporate don't want to touch spinning, because of that reason.
I've had various conversations with that, but yes, one of the reasons is, how do you attach a very successful multi-million rand corporate to a car that looks specifically like really, really rough? Let's say it runs well, but it looks like you just picked it up at like a scrapyard and put some wheels in it.
Look, Vic, here comes the next part of everything. So let's go back again into history. When we had our driving cars, our cars were neat.
Absolutely. It
was a roadworthy vehicle.
Took your kids to school in, man.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, spinning has evolved, yes, where we became faster, more, can I use the word reckless?
Yeah.
We've become more reckless in the sense of our driving styles. Okay,
Yeah, more risk taking. You take more risks.
We've become more aggressive. Let's
Yes,
rather use the word.
Good word.
Let's use, for lack of a better word, aggressive. We've become more aggressive in our driving, taking more chances. We're doing oval checks right now, and then there's a small kitchen there on the track somewhere put there, and then we're like, let me do this power slide and then just whoop it inside the kitchen. You're gonna hit something.
Sure.
If you understand. So at the end of the day, we've taken more risks in spinning in that sense. So yes, the game has changed, but also, I'll use my own car as an example. Uh, before Red Bull, I mean, I know I'm going on to international TV.
Absolutely.
My car needs to look representable. My company needs to look representable. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So at the end of the day, my car was looking like a scrap before Red Bull. And I was like, I calculated the time. I'm like, okay, it's Red Bull. We need to do something about this car. We stripped the car. We panel beated the car. We took the engine out. We redid the engine.
Oh, wow.
We did suspension. We did, for like this Red Bull, the one in Cape Town, we redid everything on the car. We redid everything on the car, from suspension to engine to paint.
Wow. Okay.
We redid everything on the car. Why? Because we want to make sure that the car's in good working condition at a competition. You can't be fixing a car at a competition now. Like there's 5 minutes now, you can't fix your car.
Nah.
So that type of thing. So we redid everything on the car. We made the car look. There was no lights obviously on the car. I mean, the windows. My car's got windows. We cut the roof open. All those type of things. But we still make it look
presentable, which is important.
Exactly.
It's like what you said. Red Bull Shire Motor is live streamed across the world.
Exactly.
It will always be available on the Red Bull app TV.
For sure.
Someone in Austria, the States, Brazil could be watching it, and for whatever reason now suddenly wants to invest in you or bring you across, to...
Exactly.
And you got to look the part. But not just on an international basis, just the local stuff. Like,
of course.
One thing, like, your cars have always been presentable. I give you, Vijaro, Sparky, those cars have always been clean. Zico, obviously, he runs a really successful business, but Zico's cars always look
he's
good.
got an image to keep up to.
Use the personalities I just mentioned are people and spinners that young people look up to. So you're setting a good example. Like, I understand money is a thing. I understand it costs money to spray a car and whatever, but there's always ways. If you really want to, you'll find a way to present the cars better.
Exactly. No, for sure.
For me, I just think that like clean spin car culture should grow a little bit more. I think people should put a lot more effort into it.
Agreed.
Because small things like that definitely help in attracting sponsors individually for events or championships or for the culture as a whole.
I think something that I want to touch on also is like, if there's this whole thing of spinning, is it a sport? Is it entertainment?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'll add on when you're done.
So, personally, please, this is my personal opinion.
Sure.
Spinning at current is entertainment.
So, my personal opinion, I've always put spinning as motorsport entertainment.
Yes.
It's entertainment provided via motorsport.
Agreed. 110%.
Obviously, there was events like Red Bull where someone has to be crowned first, second, and third. Then it falls into sport. But let's be honest, out of the 8 events you attend in a month, it's not like that.
No,
it's theatre.
Exactly.
You're entertaining your audience.
You're an artist.
Absolutely.
You are technically an artist.
Absolutely.
You have followers like an artist. You have diehard fans like an artist. I mean, you should see the comments of some fans on Facebook. I mean, like, they take this thing serious.
No. Listen, I'm sure most spinners are in a lot of WhatsApp groups, but yo, my man, Owens, there's some WhatsApp groups, huh? And spinners don't hold back, good or bad. They're going to let you know, huh? They're going to let you know.
No, for sure. But if you want to make spinning a sport, let's make it a sport. You understand? Let's have a division. We have entertainment, freestyle, cool.
No problem.
Let's have a sport. We have first, second, and third.
Well, I'll ask you this. So, do you feel currently in the mind state of most spinners and the spinning fraternity that there would ever be a smooth transition from entertainers, because entertainers are paid entertainers,
of course, 100%.
to professional sportsmen where now they got to come up with their tires, they got to come to the event and now battle for first, second, or third?
So, Vic, let's put it to this way. Spinners are spoiled. We spoiled.
You know, when the rest of the motorsport fraternity, when you speak to someone who does drag racing, circuit racing, and you tell them that the elite or the top, the premier spinners are paid performance, they're like, sorry?
Yes.
They can't even grasp that. They're like, what do you mean you get paid to do that?
But I think, Vic, this is also the other thing that's killing the spinning, as per se. The kids out there or the newcomers into the spinning are doing it for the paycheck.
Yeah, they're chasing the money. I agree. I agree. There's a good percentage of youngsters.
Your intention needs to change. do it for the sport, do it for the entertainment, as per se.
It's hard because, Sunesh, the new generation is very different.
For sure.
They've been brought up under different circumstances. They have access to instant gratification via mobile devices. And I find a lot of young people, when they leave school, want to break straight into the payday. There are people that still, go through tertiary education,
Yes,
still want to
for sure.
study, become like this. They're doctors, accountants. But there's a lot of young people that just want to straight into payday. They're like, I want to make as most money I can at the youngest possible age. There's like a lot of people change jobs a lot more often to chase the paycheck. Whereas before, our fathers and tias and aunties, they had 40 years in the same job, just waiting for their promotion.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a shift in mindset of
It is.
generation.
But getting back to the question, Vic, that the transition, there's a handful. I can count on my two hands who those people are that will do the transition.
I got to agree with you, Sunesh. I think it would be challenging. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would.
But if you want spinning to grow, honestly speaking, if we want spinning to grow in the sense of sponsorships and getting recognition, we need to make it a sport. We need to transition it into something where there's a first, second, third, a podium. We need a podium.
Yeah.
You need to have a series. You have to have something whereby it's not a one-hit wonder show and that's your king. No, you need to have some. There's drifting. Let's use drifting as an example.
Sure.
There's a season. You need to do that.
I agree with you. I see a lot of challenges. I'm not saying it's hard. I'm just saying there would definitely be a few challenges. So, Sunesh, there's a lot of established teams in spinning, both teams comprising of, let's say, two brothers, Austin and Mano, or Panjaro, and individual people that run themselves as teams. Do you feel having access or a massive flow of capital contribution towards a team or a spinner as an individual or as a team helps them be more successful?
No, definitely, most definitely. I mean, like, if you have to look at your top five, no, don't ask me my top five.
I'm going to get there.
But if you look at the top five spinners, it's people that are having prominent businesses. It's no matter what, like in any form of motorsport. I mean,
money
aids development.
But let me ask you blatantly: do you think money outweighs talent? So, in other words, do you think a very successful team, very successful car will outweigh the talented driver, or the driver outweigh that infrastructure?
It's a bit of both, Vic. I tell you why. Because with money, you can practice.
Sure.
There are a lot of underdogs out there that are suffering. I won't even lie to you. I've seen a lot of underdogs out there. Like, just with the right car, you can be a better person, a better driver.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. There's pure talent out there. But yes, obviously funds limits that as well. But in anything, practice makes perfect.
Yeah, the more practice you have
seat time.
Yeah.
Seat time counts for everything in motorsport as per se. But you can say 50-50 on that.
Okay, it's a balance. I do feel, look, especially in motorsport, if you follow any forms of motorsport, the teams that have access to higher caliber capital money, sponsorships tend to be the top tier teams.
Of course, no, but it's
running at the top.
It's the truth.
Things cost money. If you want performance coilies, you can have the cheapies at $6,000, or you can have the ones that cost $32,000.
Agreed, 100%.
It's money definitely has a contributing factor to a success of a brand or a team.
True.
However, saying that, and this is my point of view, I always feel talent will outweigh money.
No, yes.
Just my personal feeling. Like, if you can see someone drive, like you mentioned, you can see someone can drive, but the car is holding him back because it just doesn't have enough power.
But to get that guy, the car, to drive like that,
needs money.
That's where the problem comes.
So a little bit on a personal touch. You're a father of 3 beautiful girls.
Yes, I am.
There's a lot of different spinners that have passed on the torch. Do your girls Want to get in a spin car knowing that their father is a superstar that you are?
Nah, they got their own minds. They got the minds of their own. They into their own things actually.
Fair enough.
So, but if they do come and say they want to, I mean, listen, you can't force spinning onto anyone. You can't force anything onto
Sure.
anyone. If they one day rock up and say, "Hey, Daddy, I want a car. I want to spin," sure, by all means, I'll build it for you. I'll do it for you.
Nice.
So
Nicely done. I'm going to round this off. So you're talking about 5 spinners, Sunesh. And a lot of people have you used your name and put you in the top 5. So who are your top 5 in no particular order? So not the top being number 1. Just
Yeah.
give me 5 spinners that are grabbing your attention and you think they're running on top of their game.
yeah.
In no particular order. Oaks are under pressure when they get to like, and my number 1.
I wouldn't even lie to you guys. Like I've been thinking about the whole way here. I've been thinking, what am I going to tell Vic? What's my top 5 spinners? I'm
It's like a question everybody wants
yeah,
to know.
it's like anyone wants to know what Sunesh's top 5 spinners. I'm like, but am I allowed to put myself there? I'm joking.
You can put you. No. Hey, bro, by all means, a lot of people put you in there, so you can put yourself in there. I'm cool with that.
No, I don't have a big head like that. I'm just joking.
Hey, man.
But if you want my top 5 spinners, sure, at current.
In no particular order.
In no particular order. I give it to Sam. I give it to Renzo. Mano's coming.
Yeah, with the Thunder.
That's 3. I'll give it to Kayla. I'm not gonna even lie. I will leave my spin card to watch Kayla spin because of what she is capable of doing.
And the fear fact.
Do you see how easy it is?
How many times I've said, I don't want to say it because it might come off wrong, but how many times I'll be sitting amongst a crowd of male spinners and they turn around and they're like, yo, that girl spin like us. Like that girl spin
Listen,
like us.
Vic, let me put it to you this way. She spins better than some of the guys.
Absolutely.
Well, most of the guys.
So much so that, Kayla's mentioned a few times, I've always said that Kayla, for me, and it's my opinion, I think Kayla's the best female spinner in the world, hands down.
I agree.
And respectfully so. But I've always said that Kayla comfortably is in the top 10 spinners in South Africa all day long, mixed, both
Definitely.
amongst men and women. She is,
definitely.
yeah, she's that down in my package. You got one more name, hit me up. One more. It's that last one. It's not the first or the fifth, it's just one more. I'll relieve the stress. Give me a nice up-and-comer that you think has grabbed your attention.
Up-and-comer. Vic.
Someone who's still not breaking the posters, but you see putting in the effort, either girl or boy.
Whew. I'm very, very, I can't say judgmental. I'm very specific when it comes to spinning because, being in the industry for that long, I look at everything.
Sure.
I look at the whole package. Vic, this is a tough one.
The thing is, there's a lot of influx of young spinners. Like they're coming in hard and heavy and in multitudes. Like, yo.
Vic, up and coming.
We got Sunesh Stamcha.
Guys, listen, I can't put up and coming on the top 5. I can't do that.
Okay, fair enough. Give me your final top 5. Yeah, I need a name, bro. You got 4, you need 1. Pressure.
Guys, okay, listen. Let's start from in no order. Sam, Mano, Renzo, Kayla.
Just put yourself there, man, Sunesh. Just do it, man.
As Vic said it, thank you guys.
And Sunesh. So, my last question before I let you go, we've had a really, really good conversation. If you were looking into a time lapse and you could speak to a younger version of yourself, a Sunesh at 2007, what would be words of advice for young Sunesh from the lessons and the experiences that you've had as a spinner until now?
You're doing good. Stay humble. Push. And it's gonna be okay.
And I'll leave you with those wise, inspirational words from Sunesh. This is a conversation that we have every second week. It's all about the spinning fraternity, whether you're a spinner, whether you're a promoter, whether you're a tire changer, a spectator, or someone just absolutely blown away by the action on the spin pitch. This is the conversation that you want to be listening to.